Right. Welcome everybody to Bootleg Safari. My name is Reynolds. I write a comic strip called Effin Birds. Hey, thanks. Thanks for coming. If you don't know what that is, come find me later at P30. Down when you come in the doors, just turn right. I'm there. I have a big blue sign. Today, my guest is Anthony. Anthony, tell the people what you do.
Hi, I'm Anthony Ruttgaizer, and besides hosting panels here at the convention, I write comics like Heroes from Homeroom C. Twin 12-year-old superheroes lose their powers and their parents send them back to public school. Yeah, it's as good as you think. And I also work for Effin Birds. I write social media posts for Effin Birds. So if you've ever seen a post about a t-shirt or a tumbler or whatever else we sell.
Anthony writes my ads.
I've made you laugh and conned you into buying something.
There you go.
Late stage capitalism, everybody.
Late stage capitalism, that's right.
Join in.
And so, Bootleg Safari is a show where we talk about horrible knockoff items from the internet.
Yes.
There's a brief origin story to Bootleg Safari. I went to a Christmas party where we were supposed to have a secret Santa, but at the last minute we decided we should have instead a secret Satan, where you buy the worst thing you can for another person for $20. And so I bought this. That is not Garfield. That is Famous Fat Orange Cat. That's his name. He comes in a vacuum-sealed bag.
Because they were trying to suffocate him.
Yeah, he looked horrible, and he looks more horrible out of the bag.
Yeah.
So, and this was the reaction I got when I gave the gift. And so I was like, I want that in my life every time I do a Comic-Con, and so I've done it at every show I'm at this year. Yeah. And so, oh, and we have some fan art. Casey Parsons, who you may know from his recent beautiful painted cover for Darkwing Duck, submitted a drawing, a fan art drawing of Famous Fat Orange Cat.
Oh,
ready
nice.
for this?
Yes, please.
There it is. In Casey's mind, Famous Fat Orange Cat looks the way he does because he's got a substance abuse problem.
Yeah, Famous Fat Orange Cat would be voiced by possibly Randy Quaid.
Oh, Randy Quaid. Yes.
Or maybe Artie Lang for you longtime Howard Stern fans.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't meow so much as says streesh and then.
Yeah. So to get into this,
Yeah.
I believe you are going to go first. We're doing 3 rounds.
Oh,
Anthony's
okay.
got 3 things. I've got 3 things.
Okay.
Do you remember what your things are?
No, if you put it up, I'll tell you.
All right, there we go. We started with this.
Oh, okay. So we're going to start with semi-good stuff. Because I wanted you all to, I want there to be a bar that we will dip way below. So these are Ring of Honor figures that were produced a few years ago. This is Ray Rowe, who's in the WWE now as Viking Raider Eric.
Nice.
Yeah. This is Delirious, who, if you've ever watched any Ring of Honor, you know is a wild man who speaks very little English and doesn't wear shoes usually. He's just crazy.
Interesting.
And this is Jay Lethal, who was Ring of Honor champion for a while, and now he's in AEW, so you can watch him on Wednesdays and Fridays. And this is PCO, Pierre Carl Ouellette, who I met over 30 years ago when he was an 18-year-old rookie wrestler, and he was this young, clean-shaven guy, and now he's in his mid-50s, and he does the craziest nonsense, including every once in a while, his manager revives him by, honest to God, hitting him with a car battery.
Wow.
There's sparks. So, yeah.
Right.
And this is Kevin Steen, who is now known as Kevin Owens, multiple-time champion in the WWE, including current tag team champion.
Nice.
So this is what...
So these are good.
These are good wrestling figures. This is what you should want out of your wrestling figure. But, you know, sometimes people decide to give you melted Hulk Hogan. Now, Hulk Hogan himself is melted.
But what's happening in his armpit?
What's happening in his armpit is extra rubber. These are based on the old Hasbro figures. the Hasbro WWF figures all had like a power action. Like you can see Hogan's hands.
Oh yeah.
If you click them back, they throw somebody. So it's his power slam, his famous power slam, right? But you only had so many, like basically 5 points of articulation. So to get a kick or a punch or a spinning move, that was great for these toys. Now, if you take away half of the articulation and make them out of cheap rubber and paint on those demon eyes.
You know what? I like that they got his hairline right.
Oh yeah, you can't really go. Just whisper the word hair.
Yeah.
That's Hogan's hairline.
Oh, poor Hogan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Randy Macho Man Savage.
this I kind of like. This is kind of adorable. Actually.
Yeah, as
like
these
this.
ones go, this is probably one of the better ones. You got and this is Macho Man as opposed to Macho King. So you've got the orange headband and the gigantic 80s shades. Oh my God.
That's great.
Like, what were we doing?
I'm gonna admit something to you because I know that a lot of your stuff has to do with wrestling.
Yeah.
For this the last time I watched a wrestling match was the time Ricky the Dragon Steamboat got hit in the neck with the bell and swallowed his own tongue, which I thought was really like cruel to do to Mr. the Dragon Steamboat.
Pre-WrestleMania 3, that is. So the last time you watched wrestling was late '86 or early '87.
That sounds entirely right.
Oh my goodness.
So if you keep your references to Hogan and the Macho Man, I'm okay.
Yeah, but as soon as we start talking about, like if I ask you about, Terry and Dory Funk.
No,
not Jimmy Jack.
Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase.
I could do that. Yeah,
Ted DiBiase's son, Ted DiBiase Jr., is going to prison. Okay.
Okay. Well,
here's some current news. During the pandemic, Ted DiBiase's son did a little fiddly doobly doo with some government loans.
all right. So I need to tell a story here. I was appearing at a Comic-Con in Des Moines, and the guests of honor were me.
Yeah.
So that's low, and the Red Power Ranger. Except the night before the show, he was arrested at the Con Hotel by the FBI for defrauding the government's payroll protection program in the United States. And so
we call this the Brett Favre law.
yeah. Oh my God. Anyways, that was a really great con. I enjoyed it a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did you just did they leave his sign up?
Well, so here's the thing. They had made pogs of all the guests. So there was a pog of me. Oh, it was hilarious. I primarily did that show because they said, and we'll make a pog of you. And I was like, oh, yeah, I want this.
Hey, Bart.
Yeah,
Pogs are back.
Yeah. And so the thing was they had all these Red Power Ranger pogs that they couldn't do anything with. So I kept stealing handfuls of them and taking my white paint markers and then my black Sharpies and giving him like a Hamburglar-style jailhouse outfit. And then later I was at a dinner and his booking agent was there and she was talking to the con organizer and she's like, yeah, some asshole at this show is drawing jailhouse stripes on all of Austin's pogs. And I was like, it's me.
Wait a minute. Is his name Austin St. John?
That's correct.
Is it? Did he not pass away?
No, that's the other one. That's Jason David Frank.
Okay.
They all have 3 names.
Yeah. like most presidential assassins, they all have 3 names.
Oh, yeah. All right. You have one more of these, right?
Yeah, there's one more. Andre the Giant Disappointment.
Look at him. I want to.
He's got one eye looking for you and one eye looking at you. And he wants to know, would you like a peanut?
Anybody want a peanut? Oh, that's really good. Oh my God, I like it.
You can practically hear him say, all right, boss. I will be at the bar. Andre was a legendary drinker, and there's a fantastic photo that you can Google of his hand around an old can of Molson Canadian, and it looks like
a toy.
It looks like a Happy Meal toy.
Yeah.
He was a prolific drinker. Like a 60-ounce Big Gulp would be all vodka and a splash of coffee.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's beautiful. All right. Is that what you have for your first round?
That's what I have for my first
This
round.
guy's really beautiful. I like this a lot. Thank you for introducing me, especially to this Andre the Giant. All right. I have actually completely forgotten what my first round is, so we're going to let this slide, guys.
It'll be a surprise.
Oh, yes. Okay. So I like Star Trek uniforms, and I was looking on AliExpress for Star Trek uniforms, which, by the way, I don't recommend because no matter what the picture looks like, that's not what you're going to get. It's going to be garbage. But then I found this, and I was just thinking, like, I mean, is showing your belly button regulation in Starfleet?
On Risa.
Yeah. But I mean, it has the pips, so it's not like it's what you're sleeping, your sleeping uniform, right?
Yeah.
So I thought this was hilarious. And then I saw that they had it in Cisco's colors.
Yeah, all the purple
Yeah.
underneath.
And I was like, can you imagine Avery Brooks wearing this? Right?
I can't imagine it,
You can
but
imagine?
I'm disturbed.
But then I was like, okay, well, this Avery Brooks, I can imagine him wearing this.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine the later Avery Brooks with the shaved head and the goatee. I can't see that happening.
No, a man called Hawk is not putting
He is
up with that.
not putting that nonsense on his body.
I don't like this.
No, he didn't like that at
I don't
all.
like that at all.
Yeah, that's what I brought for my first thing. All right, are you ready for your second thing?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So, wrestling figures get bootlegged a lot.
This guy has a chainsaw?
This is, I think these are French, and we start getting into WCW. This is a bootleg of the Crow version of Sting, who at 62 years old is still an active wrestler in AEW, and more entertaining than half the roster. But at 52, it gives me hope that I might moonsault again.
Yeah, right.
So, now we get into the back of the card, and I'd like to point out a few things that are wrong with this, starting with Family Annihilator Chris Benoit being the giant photo in the top left. You cannot find a Chris Benoit match on the WWE Network because he did terrible things to his family, and all I'm going to say is don't get hit in the head as often as most wrestlers do because it ends badly. And then the back of the card shows you several more figures that they bootlegged. Most of them, Sting was an exception in this set, most of them are original ECW wrestlers, including Sandman. How many of you know who Sandman is or what? Okay, all right, so I used to help run wrestling shows in Doncaster, England. The promotion was called 1PW. And the idea of the promotion was, let's overspend money to bring 20 wrestlers from North America, and they'll beat the crap out of our locals. And it was an attempt to do like an American-style, high-quality show. And so I ended up being the booker, the writer, and I was involved in the travel. And one of the people we brought over a couple of times was Sandman. Now, if you don't know him, part of his entrance was that Enter Sandman would play by Metallica. He would come through the crowd wearing cargo pants or big Zubaz pants that were loaded with cans of Budweiser. And as he went through the crowd, he'd stop, he'd stand on chairs, he'd pop one open, he'd pour it into his face, he'd grab somebody by the hair and pour, who cares how old you are, drink this beer. Sandman, we used to call him Hack. Hack was perpetually drunk. The first trip to England, I'll tell this story real quick. The first trip to England, we're in this 5-star country inn outside of Doncaster. I'm in the pub with most of the guys, and we're just relaxing. And the concierge comes in, and my wrestling name is Kingdom James. So he comes up to me and goes, Mr. Kingdom, I need your help. And I'm, what's wrong? And he goes, it's Mr. Sandman. He's very drunk. And he's naked. So, Hack had been so gooned that Tommy Dreamer had kind of tricked him into leaving the room they were sharing, and Sandman was wandering this country, this 5-star country inn, stark ass naked.
Amazing.
So as soon as the concierge said that, everybody was like, ha ha, and rushed out of the pub to take a look. To which I was head in my hands, oh jeez. And I went out, and there he is on the stairs, naked, descending the staircase, like, you know, Venus to Milo. So I got everybody together, and we surrounded him at arm's length in a circle, and we moved him, we steered him back to his room. Knock, knock, knock. Tommy Dreamer answers. F you. This is yours. Close the door. Go back to drinking. Hack has always been a mess. And if I ever get my hands on one of these figures, I will cherish it.
Well, I was going to say, this one's wearing pants. So
this one is wearing pants.
You got to modify it.
Yeah, he's wearing jeans. During WCW, he dressed up a little.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much for that drunk wrestling story.
Thank you.
I brought you a Transformer, except I don't know if you can read this. It says Knight Rider becames Robert. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with bootleg Transformers, but a lot of them are referred to as Roberts.
Yeah, I understand that, man. Because listen, during high school, I tried to build a Robert.
You tried to build a Robert?
I tried to build a fighting Robert.
Yeah. There you go. I want to show you one of my favorite things about this Knight Rider that becomes a Robert. It's that on the side of him, he says, Knight Rider becomes Robert. And the reason that this is problematic for me, and this is really important. Do you know the theme song from Transformers?
Yes, but I'm suddenly singing the movie version of it to myself.
No. The TV version where they sing that they are robots in disguise.
Yeah.
In disguise. So if you put on your door that you're going to become a Robert, you're not in a very good disguise.
Is piss poor English a disguise?
I mean, maybe. I think that the best part of this is that I had a Knight Rider kit car that always made me mad as a child because it had a sticker on the side of it that said Knight Rider.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not how that car goes. It doesn't have that. It's just a black car. And on the front of it, for the red thing that goes back and forth, it just had a red sticker, just like this Knight Rider that becomes a Robert. So they got that part right, I guess. And here he is in his true Robert form. I actually really like him. I looked at buying one on eBay, but they're like $35 or $40.
I ain't paying $40 for a Robert.
This is a $2 garbage toy, not a $40 garbage toy. But I thought about it. I did think about it. I think that's one of the most dangerous parts of this panel for me, is that I am so tempted to buy the things. I have in my home, much to my wife's frustration, the Thomas the Tank Engine that turns into the giant murder robot and plays the disco song. I don't know if you should just watch old episodes of Bootleg Safari at bootlegsafari.com to understand that reference.
Those were all words, but that
was the thing, yeah. He drives around, he's a Thomas the Tank Engine, and then he goes, woo, and it goes, and then he transforms up into a robot that has guns. He's got a couple of great big guns, and he goes pew, 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 and then he changes back into the robot. I think he's designed to murder children because you lull them in, and then you blow them up. Anyways.
I understand. Hey, listen, children are here to replace us, and we shouldn't be coddling them. We should get together and fight them. We'll win that war.
They should fight Roberts. Anyways, I was thinking, speaking of old episodes of Bootleg Safari, I was thinking of my favorite previous Robert on this show, which was Robert Cobb.
I'll be back?
Yeah, the furniture of law enforcement.
The furniture of law enforcement.
Yeah, that's Robert Cobb. Robert Cobb 2.
He throws lawn chairs at you.
He's the worst.
He really is the worst. I mean...
And I'm pretty sure his torso is from a He-Man. I'm pretty sure that's a silver He-Man. But anyways, that's Robert Cobb.
That's an ACAB kind of moment there. Yeah.
All right, you ready for your next one?
Yeah.
This is your third one.
How are you going to beat Robert Cobb?
Yeah, how are you going to beat Robert Cobb? That's my question for you, Andy.
Okay.
This is a competition.
Now, this is a sign from my workplace. This is a book I wrote called Strip Club Quotes. I have worked for the past 22 years as a strip club DJ. So about 20 years ago, our overnight cleaners decorated the champagne rooms for the holiday season.
Yep.
And they did it with those, pushed together letters that make a nice foil sign, except they misspelled Christmas.
Now you got Chrastmas.
For many years at my club, we used to celebrate our special holiday of Chrastmas. And we would wish each other, Merry Chrastmas! And our cleaners, Sam and Kathy, incredibly nice people, an older Greek couple. Sam had a tendency of, it was like he was Pavel Chekhov. Everything good in the world came from Greeks. So Chrastmas comes from Greek.
Right.
But yeah, so please
have yourself
prepare
a merry little Chrastmas.
Have yourself a merry little Chrastmas.
That's beautiful.
So here are some were these I think they might have been Italian.
Well, I mean, they're not English, just based on the words on the box.
Ultimate warrior power.
Be filled with the tournament stage of intense emotion.
Yes. These figures, they bootlegged later WWE figures. I believe these are Jakks. Jakks is the name of the original company, and they just bootleg them. So you get here from left to right, you get fake Batista, fake Kane, fake Sheamus, and what based on the tattoos, I can only say fake Rock, but with Stone Cold Steve Austin's head.
Yeah, that's weird. Also, there's a chainsaw in that box.
Oh yeah.
There's a murder in this,
Well, okay. Terry Funk, who I mentioned before. Terry Funk was a former world champion in the 70s. He wrestled well into the 90s, well into the 2000s actually. And in late 1990s, he went back to the WWE, and for some reason, instead of trading on the fact that he was this world famous wrestler named Terry Funk, they gave him a new character, and he was Chainsaw Charlie. And he's wearing jeans and a plaid shirt and a stocking mask full of flour over his head, and he was carrying an an electric chainsaw, and it was ridiculous. So there could be a chainsaw.
Was it I'm just thinking of Chekhov's gun when it comes to, writing. When if you show the gun in the first act, you have to use it by the third act. Did they ever use the chainsaw?
They used it in the first act. He arrives as a gift for Mick Foley in a gigantic wooden box, and he cuts his way out.
Oh my God. I don't even want to know about the insurance.
Again.
I don't want to hear about the insurance situation. No. I don't want to Oh, you know what I just noticed on this box?
Yeah.
In the top right corner, it says first grade product. Oh. Now, does that mean it's good, or does that mean it's for 6-year-olds?
Well, it is 3+ ages.
3+ ages.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So,
okay. Is that a Power Ranger diving on them? What is that?
No, I guess that's supposed to be Rey Mysterio, but you get a stolen photograph montage of all the WWE figures, wrestlers that you would want, and then a picture of the action figures in action in a ring, which they didn't sell.
Oh.
So get your ring somewhere else.
I do like that it says, "Play with me, I will give you infinite happiness." That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's the first line on my Tinder profile too.
Oh, sorry. That's all right.
Sorry.
This is terrible.
Okay, this is their bootleg version of Kane, who's the mayor of a town in Tennessee now because America is stunned. He comes. Oh, I'm getting canceled. He comes with a crutch, a chainsaw, and some weights in case he wants to flex. But he is. He's got warrior power. And then, of course, how can can your bootleg be complete unless you got a stolen picture of an actual wrestler in the top corner? I'm sure John Cena endorsed this, but look at this. Look at the hollow eyes.
Oh my God.
Look at the foaming at the mouth. He's ready to cancel your health care, Tennessee.
He's been eating like a whole bunch of Oreos. That's what I was thinking. That he was just the centers of the Oreos.
This is what Charlie Brown goes up to be. All those years of bullying. He's getting on growth hormone and he's coming back for revenge.
It's Charlie Brown on performance enhancing drugs.
Yep. HGH Brown.
This is horrible. Thank you very much for this, Anthony. This is a great way of my life.
Now, you've got a thing that you wouldn't show. Oh, wait a minute. I got a thing that I haven't shown you yet.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to show it to you now.
Yeah, okay. Show it to me now.
How many episodes of Bootleg Safari have you done?
This is the seventh one. Oh, it doesn't do that.
No, it doesn't do that right now.
This is the seventh.
This is the seventh.
Yeah.
I might be the first person who's been on the show who has his own bootleg figure.
Wow. Wait, let me see this. Let me see this.
So there's a fan in Southern Ontario, in Hamilton. I was wrestling for a few groups in Hamilton, including one called New School Wrestling. And surprise, surprise, at one of the shows, he just walks up to me and says, "Hey, I made this for you." And he had done them for a few people. And
this is glorious. I mean, it's kind of terrible, but like it's beautiful.
Come by my table and see it up close later. It is both scary and so endearing that somebody took the time to find the good photo of me and make this. And I have never been happier. There's video of me the day he gave it to me where I was just so.
I was gonna say, did you cry? Because I would cry.
I didn't cry, but I was really happy.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful.
I knew I was. I'm in.
You are 100% the first person who's done it.
I'm in one person's tattoo, and I'm one action figure.
I had somebody get one of my cartoons tattooed up, which was cool. But I'm not me tattooed.
There's a different guy in Hamilton who was involved in one of the other promotions, and he got a montage of a bunch of us around the Alpha One logo, and I'm in there.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. That's super beautiful.
Thought you'd like that.
So here's the thing. I really like this because it says, it also says, "Play with me, I will give you infinite happiness." But I really like, "Let the battle begin. Different kinds of fighting here." That's really good. That's really good. I like that a lot. That's beautiful. I actually want this. I want this for myself.
Okay, and it comes with two belts.
There we go. It comes with two belts. Okay, so let's do some context here. In 2006, Bryan Singer made a direct sequel to the Richard Donner Superman films called Superman Returns. Have you seen this film?
Yes, I have.
It's not the best Superman film.
Makes me sad.
But it is probably the best film called Superman Returns. Because I don't know if you know that there was another sequel to Superman, to the Richard Donner Superman, made in 1980 called Superman Returns.
I'm smart enough to ask, what country was this movie made in?
Turkey! So here's Superman Returns from Turkey. It is... You know what? I'm not going to describe it. I'm going to show you the first scene. How does that sound?
Wait. Hold on for a second.
Yes.
Tayfun Deemer.
Yes.
And possibly my new favorite movie star name, Gungur Bayrak.
I don't know how to pronounce any of these names, but they're all great.
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, I actually really like the dude who's Superman in this. He's not quite the right physique, but he is like 7 feet tall, which is great. And his costume, while handmade, is endearing and charming.
Okay.
But the thing about this film is it tries very hard to give you exactly what you saw in Christopher Reeve's Superman, but for a lot less money. So who can think of the first scene in that 1978 Superman? Do you remember? You're going through space, right?
Okay.
That's before the opening credits, these nebulas spiral towards you and stuff like that, right?
And you've got the voiceover.
Yes. The voiceover. Yes.
Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Okay.
Having a senior moment. It took me that long to remember Marlon Brando.
I did not include the clip of the Turkish version of Marlon Brando in this, in Superman's Fortress of Solitude, which is, by the way, just a cave in Turkey. but that clip is really good. And I do actually strongly recommend that you watch this entire film on YouTube. It is only 70 minutes long, and it is great. But here's the opening of this film. So, I don't know if you can tell what's happening here, but those are definitely Christmas ornaments that we are slowly zooming in on.
Oh, space is mysterious.
Right? Okay. And
yes.
Yeah.
Superman.
Superman returns.
Superman returns. Okay.
Yeah. So, have you seen Be Kind Rewind?
Yes.
Do you know all those, like, the little cheap remakes of all the films they do?
Yes.
That's exactly what this film is, from start to finish.
Okay.
This film, I don't think has a really good grip on what Superman's powers are. Because throughout this film, Superman can control machines with his mind.
Sure.
It plays a high-pitched squealing noise, and then the car stops running, or something like that. And he's not using vision, like heat vision or X-ray vision or anything like that. Here's how they introduce that power. Are you ready? He's at the Daily Planet, and he's doing his job, and it zooms in on his great glasses.
Oh my goodness.
And then
Those glasses came from Edna
Mode, yeah, from The Incredibles, absolutely. Here, look at this. He's controlling a typewriter with his mind.
to play piano.
Yeah. Also, he hits a lot of keys at the same time. I'm shocked that it doesn't jam. But anyways, that's Superman's amazing power.
Okay.
Superman Returns. There's a wonderful scene where he apparently meets Lois Lane for the first time. And I think that's what's so confusing about this film, is while it's called Superman Returns, it's acting like it's the first time any of this has happened to these characters.
Right.
So he rescues Lois. There was actually an amazing sequence where a man hides in Lois Lane's trunk, so that while she's driving, he can open the trunk and reach around with his revolver and shoot out one of her tires and then hide back in her trunk, so that when she gets out of the car to change her tire, he can jump out of the trunk at her. There are a million better ways to kidnap Lois Lane that I can think of right off the top. But like,
How is that going to work? How is that going to not end up with the car flipping and rolling and killing them both?
it's like 4 minutes of the film. 4 minutes of a 70-minute film. It's like 5% of the movie. Yeah. So anyways, here's Superman has just rescued Lois, and she faints a lot in this movie, and it was very hard to only include 2 clips of her fainting.
Okay, those two clips were filmed on different days.
Yes. And she's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Superman." Yeah.
Your face doesn't move much, Superman.
I think he's a pretty good Superman. I think he looks like, who's the 1950s Superman? Do you know what I'm talking about?
George Reeves.
Yeah, he reminds me of George Reeves. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Wow.
Yeah. And then she passes
And
out.
then she faints again.
That is the second time that she faints.
Yeah.
But there are a lot more times
She
she faints.
just woke up, and he doesn't seek medical care for her or anything.
No.
He's gone.
He's got off to do his next thing.
And his disappearance causes more harm.
Also, I love that he is clearly like a Ken doll with a red cape on, being held in front of a motion picture screen that's actually showing footage of a different part of the movie.
Nice.
It's great. Every time he flies, it's terrible. Oh, here's the thing I did like. There's a physicality to a lot of the action sequences that's just like, there you go, smashes the door, punches the guy across the room.
Nice.
That is just like, I could fill 20 minutes of highlights of that.
I'm not going to complain about practical effects.
No, I love that. I'm going to actually go back. I want to see that a second time.
They probably didn't even gimmick that door.
No, he just actually, I think, broke a real old door. And then, bam! There you go. Take that. Take that, mustache guy. Also, all the villains have mustaches. That's how you know them.
Yeah. All villains have mustaches.
All the villains, all the villains have mustaches. This is one more very typical scene of the action scenes in this film, where someone shoots at Superman while Superman slowly approaches them. Are you ready?
Okay.
It's because, I don't know why, but nobody seems to know that Superman is bulletproof, even after multiple scenes where this same thing happens. Oh, this mustache.
I like the way that guy whips his head around.
Yeah. And then Lois Lane's like, yeah, this is going to be awesome.
I'm going to slowly withdraw my weapon. Nope. Let me try again. Nope. Oh my. Look at that expression. Is there a surprise cliff behind him?
Don't ruin the film for everyone.
No. Splat.
Lois Lane also almost splatted.
And the world's strongest man can barely lift Lois
I
Lane.
know, it's really great. So I sort of fell down a rabbit hole of Turkish cinema because for the second bootleg safari, I did a film called Man Who Saves the World, which is a weird science fiction action movie that I really enjoyed. But that also, whenever they didn't have enough money to do the special effects, they just used a shot from Star Wars. They just straight up cut in a shot from Star Wars.
Sweet.
All the spaceships were definitely Star Destroyers or X-Wings. And whenever they would cut to the dudes flying the ships, they just had whole scenes from Star Wars being projected on the background behind them.
Nice.
But the middle half hour of the film is a bunch of dudes riding around on horses in the desert punching each other, and that part's amazing. And I was like, why did they have to do all this other stuff? Like the horses punching guys, jumping over horses, and like it's so good. Also, there's a man who has decapitation gloves. It's really worth seeing because he punches people in the neck,
Yeah.
and then he pulls their heads off. Over and over and over again. And in the best sequence, he punches a guy in the head, pulls his head off, throws his head at another guy, and the other guy explodes. So anyways, after that, I was like, okay, obviously Turkish cinema of the 1980s is like the greatest thing. Yeah. It really, and so I watched this, and I watched something that I'm actually going to use for the next bootleg safari that involves Captain America as the good guy and Spider-Man as the bad guy.
That makes sense.
No, it doesn't. Spider-Man's like a drug dealer who drives around in a Cadillac. It's amazing.
Listen, I've always said the problem with Spider-Man long term is that this kid should be able to get his life together and make some money.
Right? And like, why is he not?
He's dealing that yayo.
Yep. So I have one
Which
final.
sounds very unauthentic.
Yeah, no, that's not. No. So I have one final scene from Superman Returns to show to you.
Okay.
I love it a lot. It is the grand farewell. This, by the way, is the Daily Planet.
Okay. And those guys are both Perry White?
They are both Perry White, that's right. And, why is he flying in the dark? Because he's already in space. There he goes.
Poochie had to return to his home planet.
It was beautiful, wasn't it? Here we are at the end of Superman Returns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an unfortunate production name.
It's the name of the director. Yep. That's the director's name. So that is our bootleg safari for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Anthony, tell people where to find you on the internet.
I am available today and tomorrow at table P21 in Artist Alley, where I have just 2 copies of Strip Club quotes left. 180 pages of comic strips and quotes from my stupid day job as a strip club DJ.
And I gotta say, my favorite part is that it's shaped like a Garfield.
It's shaped like a Garfield book on purpose because I'm trying to ruin your childhood. And Chance for Survival about a female sheriff who is protecting a small town of villagers south of what used to be Calgary, I'm pandering to you, after a worldwide monster apocalypse. These are good books. Come give me money. We'll both be happy. And online, you can find me handsomegeniusclub.com. That's my podcast. Or Ruttgaizer.com. Come get a card from my table.
That also works.
Hey, where can they find you, man?
Well, so I'm over at P30, only a few tables away from Anthony.
Yeah.
They keep us separated by a few other people so we don't get into too much trouble with this show. I have a new... It's not a book. It was a book until my American publisher decided it should be a double deck of playing cards. Which, you know what? I'm not mad about it. I really like it. So my new book is a double deck of playing cards coming out June 6th that you can pre-order at the amazing domain Eat Fart with a dot between the F and the art. I also have a ton of prints and some pins left over at my table at P30.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and visiting us.
Thanks, everybody.
See you around.